Hi, hello, and welcome to Life Off Script. My name is Yaz, and I just want to say welcome to the Christmas episode. I'm riding a high. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm riding a high. I got my Spotify Wrapped for creators, and you guys just did so much more than I ever expected. I had no idea that people were actually really listening to me or my podcast, and it's actually just so nice to see the actual stats. And I'm just going to read them out to you because I posted them on my Instagram. But if you don't have Instagram and you just listen to my podcast, which is so fair, I'm going to read out what stats I got. So we got a 2025 instant hit show where the debut season was more popular than 91% of other new shows, which is just incredible. You're a top 5 show for 135 fans, number 1 show for 42 fans. We have people listening from Australia, UK, New Zealand, Malaysia, and the United States. And a 2025 most shared show. You've received more shares than 91% of other shows. I am in awe. I don't know what to say, but thank you. I took this as a hobby, and it still is a hobby, obviously, but it's something that really fulfills me. And it's been quite busy this past few months, so I haven't been on a strict schedule, but it's resuming after all the holidays. And that'll be the second season anyway, which is just kind of crazy to say there will be another season. But I have so much more to say. I have so many more things to cover. I have actually a list of ideas and they haven't even been run through yet. Just for an update, I've had a bit of a career crisis recently, which is why I've been working a lot, and then also I've been kind of not really looking for a new job because my job actually finishes, the contract expires at the end of this year. So I have genuinely a few weeks before I am fun employed, which is exciting, but also not exciting. I need money to pay for my rent. So it's been a bit stressful, but I think I was going into it really with this like mindset of I need to find a job. Any job will do. I'll just apply for all these random roles that don't really pique my interest because I'm like, well, I need something. And at the end of the day, like, does that actually get you what you want? No. I'm coming at it from a place of desperation rather than manifestation and like the law of attraction. I'm not going through it going, I will get these roles that will align with me. Instead, I just need to find this job. And then when I apply for a job that I'm not really interested in, and then they reject me because I don't really have the right experience or whatever it may be, I almost have this like bruise to the ego because I'm like, well, I could get that role and I haven't gotten it. But it's like, did you even want it, girlfriend? No. So anyway, I had to have a bit of a yoga sesh to reground myself. Did the crane pose, came out of it a new woman. And now I'm coming at it from a really good perspective. I'm so much more calm. I'm less stressed. I will find a role and I will find a job that really fulfills me, and I'm sure it'll come up, and it will because I live in London. There's so many different roles and opportunities around here. If I don't get one, I'll get another. That's just how it works. So anyway, ramble over. Sorry about that, guys. I wanted to get into the topic of this episode, which is Christmas, and most importantly, what are the best Christmas movies? Because this is a really important conversation to have. I personally have top 3, and you could probably guess what 2 of those are, but I have one that I feel like no one really ever talks about, and I found it I think it was last year when me and Ella, my previous housemate, and good friend of mine who now lives in Australia. She used to live with me, and we had this tradition of every Sunday watching a rom-com that we hadn't seen before, that were mostly older ones because we had seen all the modern ones. And we would watch it during dinner, and we had a list that we were going through, and I could tell you some of the list, but for the most part, we got through a good amount. Most of them were really those Tom Hanks classics, like You've Got Mail, or Meg Ryan classics, actually. And let me just find it for you. Yeah. So we have a list here, and we corroborated this from speaking with a lot of millennial people that grew up in the 80s, the 90s, and knew those like really good rom-coms that maybe aren't on our radar nowadays, but are still just absolute classics. So I'm just going to give you the list that we were given. So we've got 16 Candles, Working Girl, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, a classic, Depending Your Life, Some Kind of Wonderful, Runaway Bride, My Best Friend's Wedding, Annie Hall, Much Ado About Nothing, Uptown Girl, Sliding Doors, Harold and Maude, Jerry Maguire, Cocktail, Princess Struck, It Could Happen to You, Moonstruck, The Shop Around the Corner, Past Lives, City of Angels, A Walk to Remember, Pearl Harbor, Groundhog Day, When Harry Met Sally, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind. Now, I have watched a few of these. For instance, Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind is literally on my top 4 movies on Letterboxd. I fucking love it. Literally an incredible movie. Kate Winslet is everything to me in that movie. So I have seen that, but we had some that we hadn't seen. For instance, Runaway Bride, anything with Julia Roberts is just a classic. She is so good in rom-coms, like Pretty Woman, obviously, but Runaway Bride is actually, in fact, my favorite from her movies, because it's got the same guy in it, Richard Gere, who is my celebrity crush every time. He is so hot. And it's such an incredible movie. It's so funny. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I had this list, and there was actually another movie on this list. That's the one I'm going to talk about because I removed it from the list. And it is, in fact, the movie While You Were Sleeping. Now, it does sound a bit creepy, but I'm going to give you the overview of what the movie is and why it's such a brilliant Christmas movie. And I'm going to call it a Christmas movie because it happens over Christmas. It's in Chicago. It's giving that kind of like beautiful, snowy, Christmassy spirit that you just need over the holidays. So, main girl, Sandra Bullock, in her younger years. She is so young and youthful and beautiful here. And we have Bill Pullman as the main guy. We also have another main guy who is, now I can't remember his exact, like his real name, but I'm going to describe him as Sandy Cohen from the OC, aka Seth Cohen's dad from the OC. If you know, you know. He's like the main guy in it as well. So there's 2 main guys, but tell me why it's low-key not a love triangle. But it is, but it's not. So there's no villains in it. Sandra Bullock is just like this young, lonely girl called Lucy. She doesn't have much family. She lives alone, and she works at the train station, literally giving people tickets for their trains every day, and has this like fantasy over Sandy Cohen because she sees him go and, catch the peak hour train every day to the city. And one day he gets pushed onto the tracks. I'm not going to tell you how, but he gets pushed onto the tracks accidentally. She saves his life. He's in a coma. She is at the hospital wanting to make sure that he's okay. They're like, actually, we won't let anyone in to check on him unless your family. She lies and says that's her partner. That's her fiance, in fact, just so that she can make sure he's okay. At that same time, his family rock up and they're lovely. And they're like, wait, who's this chick? And then the nurse is like, oh, old mate's fiance. And Sandra Bullock, Lucy, is like, wait. I mean, low key. And then she can't like get a word in. And then she's kind of like, well, yes, I am the fiance, which is not true at all. But of course, she's going along with it because she's just feeling so awkward. And she's like, well, I did save his life, so c'est la vie. I guess I can be called fiance. And they're like, wait, never heard of you. And she's like, yeah. But then they just like accept it because Sandy Cohen is a workaholic. He lives in the city. He's very, corporate boy. And they are like, never see him because they're in the burbs. So they're like, wait, plausible for him to have a fiance. Not great, but plausible. And they're all so lovely that they go, oh my God, you must be so upset. Come to our Christmas. It's in a few days. Come celebrate Christmas with us if you are Sandy's fiance. So she does that. And guess who rocks up to Christmas dinner? None other than Sandy Cohen's hotter, sweeter brother, Bill Pullman. And now Bill Pullman is low-key suspicious as feck over Lucy. He's like, never heard of her. She's acting a bit strange. I reckon she's not his fiance, but no evidence to suggest otherwise. So he's like, I'm going to do some digging, like tries to call her out in a few things. Coincidentally, she always has like some sort of excuse. She always has some sort of answer, like accidentally. Like it's all just coincidence. And then Bill Pullman's like, wait, kind of mad that I didn't meet you first, and is just the sweetest man to her, like after the suspicion fades, and it starts yearning and is like, oh, I really like Lucy, and devastated that she's actually the fiance to my brother who's in a coma. And if anything, Bill Pullman and Sandra Bullock's chemistry is off the charts good. I'm giving you guys the full like lowdown. The movie is so funny, really charming, witty, sweet, really, really sweet. And then I'm not gonna spoil the ending for you, but it's like around Christmas. It's got that yearning, it's got that sweetness. There's no actually real villains in the movie. There's no one that is rude or obnoxious. It's all just like sweet misunderstandings, funny, and lovely characters. And I absolutely love it. So this movie is in my top 4 from Letterboxd as well. It is a Christmas movie. I deem it a Christmas movie. It's from the I think it's 1998 maybe. And it is just a beautiful movie. Everyone I've showed it to since loves it. Till loves it. And it's hosted on Disney Plus if you ever want to watch it yourself. That is my recommendation. Second movie is obviously Love Actually. I always toss up between whether Love Actually and The Holiday is the better Christmas movie, but I think what Love Actually has that edges out The Holiday, is the fact that you're telling me that Jack Black got Kate Winslet. Because, and in fact, Jack Black had the girl at the start. What was her name? Oh fuck, was it Lucy as well? Jack Black. I need to actually know this. Dates girl at start of The Holiday. Who is it? Maggie. Yeah. Okay. It's just giving a bit unrealistic. And I'm not saying Love Actually is not unrealistic, but Love Actually like kind of actually veers towards really realistic, like very much like sad and lovely stories. So I kind of prefer Love Actually for a rewatch. But anyway, you have to rewatch both of them, obviously. But Love Actually does clear The Holiday in that respect. Love Actually's soundtrack ace, Hugh Grant ace. The vindication of Hugh Grant clearing that American president and saying that quote about David Beckham's left foot / and right foot is just so like I feel patriotic, and I'm not even British, but it makes me feel patriotic. The storyline of Colin Firth, my celebrity crush as well, and the Portuguese woman, Anita, I think it is. Beautifully well done, awkward as hell, very British. The story of the two actors meeting on set when they have a sex scene, incredibly well done, so funny. One of my favorites is Colin, not Colin Firth, but Colin, the British man who can't find a woman and then goes to America and hooks up with a Harriet, a Lucy, a Emily, a Sarah, and all these like girls that he just brings back to the UK. Iconic, never been done before, show-stopping. The worst storyline has to be Carl and Sarah, when Sarah's like obsessed with Carl at the workplace. If you recall, Snape is the boss and Carl's obsessed with Sarah, but Sarah is just not seeing it for some odd reason. And then they go and spend the night together. Now, if my siblings were calling me during that, I would literally be, do not disturb, don't bother me. I wouldn't even answer the phone call. They could call a zillion times, I wouldn't answer it. She has a different relationship to her brother. But I'm just saying, personally, I'm on do not disturb. The body on that man, the body on Carl, ooh, I'm do not disturbing for a week straight. You actually could not reach me. Even if you tried, you couldn't. So that scene, it infuriates me. Moving on to The Holiday, which was my favorite for a really long time, but now has moved down. And like I said, the unrealistic relationship between the first girl, Maggie, and Jack Black, and then Jack Black and Kate Winslet. It's such an interesting casting. I think Kate Winslet works really well for it. I get why they casted Jack Black, but I also wonder, like, the comedy in The Holiday is so subtle that it could have been done by another actor. I don't really think they needed Jack Black in it. I appreciate that he is in it, but could have been acted by someone else, I think, and would have been much more fun to watch on screen because currently Jude Law steals the show naturally. But it almost feels like what we're going to give Cameron Diaz and Jude Law the hot couple vibe, and then Kate Winslet gets stuck with Jack Black. No shade to Jack Black, but I would be kind of pissed off. So I just think bit of shade to Kate Winslet when I'm like, Kate Winslet's a hottie. Like, why are we pairing her up with such an argo? Not sure. I also love the premise of the film. I think it's so fun and funny. It's also just giving like Life Swap. It's giving Wife Swap, the reality show. Like, put people in different environments and see how they thrive / don't thrive. It's such a good experiment. And I know it's obviously a movie, but it is a really good experiment. And I always love it. The scene that lets it down for me is actually when Kate Winslet gets really involved with the neighbor, the old neighbor. I think it's because he just is a bit annoying. I really like old people, but he's so just like about everything. And I don't know, she has to reinvigorate the life back into him. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's actually not that bad of a scene. But I think the whole scene of like her helping the guy, I'm like, ugh, get back to like romance. Like, it's a romance movie. I don't know. That's maybe I'm being a bit petty now. Maybe I am. I don't know. Anyway, in terms of Christmas, I am spending Christmas in New York City this Christmas, which is really, really exciting. First time I've done a New York Christmas. So first time I've done like New York winter, I really mean. I've only done New York in summer, blisteringly hot. But that was well over 10 years ago. So exciting to go back to one of my favorite cities on earth. I loved it from Gossip Girl and Sex and the City, and it is just an incredible, magical city. And I'm so, so, so excited to try it in the winter time. We have a lot booked already just because we've only got we've got 8 days there or something like that. So we have booked sports games, ice hockey, NFL. We've booked Rockefeller ice skating. We've booked the Rockettes. We've booked Chicago the musical, which is my favorite musical at the moment. We have booked Jonas Brothers. And Christmas lunches, and we're currently staying at one of my friend's friends flat. She's heading over on holiday somewhere, and she's let us stay at her flat, which is just so nice in literally Soho. So we are lucky. And yeah, so this year I'm not spending Christmas with my family, which is sad, but I just came back from Switzerland with my grandparents. So at least I got to see my grandparents, which is nice. And I think trying to deal with spending Christmas away from your family is always so hard. And I don't really know if there's a way to kind of do it without getting sad. Like, I think you're always going to be like a bit sad. When there's tradition, you just will always miss it. So like, for instance, in Australia, my mum is Swiss, so we celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve rather than Christmas Day. So we dress up and we have, some wine, some champagne, and we open presents and we take photos and we have a really nice dinner, and that's our Christmas. So Christmas Day doesn't really mean much to me personally. So missing out on that is really hard, I think. And I think the way forward, I mean, what I've been doing for the past 2, 3 years now that I've been living in London, is just making sure that I involve myself as much as possible with things that my friends are doing back in Oz. So, for instance, some of my friends are doing KK. So they will FaceTime me and we will all open our presents together. And I just organize a present um, over in Oz and get it delivered. Like you can make it work kind of thing. And just making sure that I really enjoy the lead up to Christmas. I'm currently writing some Christmas cards for my friends and family that I can send to Oz, which is exciting. And yeah, just like really trying my best to be as involved as possible so I don't feel completely removed from my family over this time. I think in London's pretty good is that a lot of my friends all kind of spend Christmas together and do a kind of, orphan Christmas, if you will, uh, which is really nice and very homey and a nice way of spending Christmas away from your family. Personally, as I get older, I feel like tradition means more and more to me rather than less and less. I think tradition gives a sense of predictability and familiarity, and therefore a sense of closeness uh, to maybe mundane things that other families don't do. And like, you hear about what other friends do at Christmas, and it's like it all means so much to that specific family. It's so interesting and so nice. And I never thought I'd say that I think a hot Christmas is better than a cold Christmas. I don't know. I feel like a cold Christmas lead up is like unbeatable, but I think a hot Christmas is so much fun and so exciting. A barbecue, like cold pasta salads, good seafood, and a hot summer's day, the pool, the beach, just a hot, sunny Christmas day. Like, I just don't think that can be beaten by a cold Christmas day. I just don't think it does. If you take anything from this episode, is that you watch while you were sleeping, fabulous. I'm so happy, and please let me know if you love the movie as much as I do. Again, this is Life Off Script. Thank you so much for listening. I always appreciate it. If you want to DM me with any sort of other recommendations for Christmas movies, please feel free. I actually watched The Family Stone with Ella last year. Horrific movie. Please never watch it. It makes genuinely no sense. I don't know how any of it came onto the screen. Yeah. And for a stacked cast like that, it's almost so bad that it's good. Almost. Just misses the mark just slightly. Okay. Thanks for listening, guys. Life of Script can be reached on Instagram, Lifeoffscriptpod, and TikTok, lifeoffscript.pod. I have my link tree in my Instagram. I hope you guys stay warm and enjoy the Christmas spirit regardless of the current state of the world right now. And of course, if you don't celebrate Christmas, happy holidays. Regardless, you get some time off. And we'll see you in the new year. I might do another episode just before Christmas with the girly pops. Come wine with me. If you know, you know. But otherwise, thank you for listening and have a lovely day. Okay, bye.